I was the shyest guy that there ever probably lived. I couldn't talk to anybody in high school. I ran away from girls. I couldn't have conversations. I just didn't like really being around people. And I was really insecure. So when I got into sales, it was something completely out of my comfort zone. But the only reason why I had got into sales was out of desperation. I had absolutely no choice. See, had made it to university and I was gonna become a mechanical engineer. And during the summer break, I decided to get a job because I wanted to make money. And my buddy was working at this laptop store. So I decided to give it a try. They hired me on the spot and I was like, okay, this is awesome. I'm gonna be able to pay for my tuition instead of my parents having to pay for it. Because my parents didn't come from a lot of money. They worked really, really hard, but they didn't have a lot of money to their name. So I got into sales and it was completely out of my comfort zone and I sucked so bad. But how did I overcome my shyness? How did I overcome my insecurity to go become a general manager of a dealership, making over $300,000 a year? How did I go from that shy guy, not being able to talk to anybody, to being able to run a whole car dealership? So how I did that brings me to my first point, is you got to do the hard work first, okay? So you got to attack the things that make you feel uncomfortable. When I started at the laptop store, my manager, luckily, which was one of the best mentors that I ever ran into in my life, this guy role played with me like nobody else did. He did objection handling. We did training together. How to overcome if a customer says the price is too high, what to say, how to present my product. And slowly, when I started doing these training with him, when I started trying to overcome these objections, pretending that he is the customer, dude, I shit my pants when I was doing it in front of him. But you know what happened? I started getting better. I started getting better. And I started overcoming all of these objections in front of him. The guy that made me way more nervous than any customer would. And guess what? When I started overcoming all of these objections in front of him, my confidence started to skyrocket. I said, if I can sell him a laptop, I can sell it to anybody. I can overcome any objection. And that's why you got to do the hard work first. The first thing is doing the shit that makes you the most uncomfortable. You need to get in front of as many people as you can, as quick as you can, so you can overcome this shyness, because then it's not going to feel that hard. It's not going to feel like it's that difficult. You're not going to feel that insecure anymore because you've got so many reps now. So after I practiced with him, then when I went in front of a customer, man, it was easy because I knew what to say. I knew what to say when I greeted the customer. I knew what to say when I was going to take them over to my product. I knew how to do the product presentation, and I knew how to overcome the objection when they're always like, I need to think about it. Just these simple objections would kill a salesperson, but I knew how to overcome it right away. So the first thing to overcoming your shyness and your insecurity is do the uncomfortable activities, okay? And along with that, I will say is make sure you start training, you start working on yourself. Meaning, number one, get to know the product that you're actually selling. Do you know the ins and outs of the product? Because if you don't even know what you're selling, there's people out there that say, man, it doesn't matter, you're in the people business, you don't need to know your product. That is bullshit. If you don't believe in your product, if you don't know how your product works inside and out, how can you ever sell it to anybody? You need to know what makes your product special, okay? And then after that, you got to know how to overcome objections. And how you're going to overcome objections is you got to train. You got to sit down and train with somebody one-on-one, pretend like they're the customer and go through the motions with them, because that's going to get you prepared for battle. That's going to help you overcome your insecurity and your shyness that you have in sales. Okay? Just like I did when I first started. So I met my mentor, he trained me, we did some role playing, we did training, and then I got in front of clients. And now when I got in front of clients, now I got on a roll. Now I started closing deals. And now when I started closing deals and I saw my bank account, guess where my shyness was? Guess where my insecurity was? I'll tell you one thing, when you're making money, your shyness and your insecurity, it goes away. Because when you start realizing that this money is in your bank account because of things that you sold and things that you did, now your confidence starts going through the roof. And that's going to lead me to my last point. If you really want to overcome your shyness and your insecurity, you're going to need to become a badass. You're going to need to do the hard work. You're going to need to do the things that you don't like doing over and over and over again. I went to the gym this morning. I didn't feel like getting up, but I knew I had to get up. And I know if I keep going every single day, if I keep doing the hard work first, I know my life is going to be that much easier. I know the reward waiting for me at the end of that tunnel is going to be so fucking huge. It's going to be so fulfilling that it's all going to be worth it. At the end of the day, where does confidence come from? Confidence comes from the promises that you make to yourself. Every time you make a promise to yourself and you don't keep it, your confidence goes down. And that's exactly what happens in sales and exactly what happens in life. If you say you're going to do something, then do it. When I was going into that laptop industry, I didn't know what I was going to do, but my manager taught me about goals, taught me about what kind of income that I can make, told me about the opportunity that I could open up my own franchise one day, and told me how I could completely change my life. I showed up every single day to work, whether I was partying the last night before or whether I was not. I was at work every single day because I kept the promises that I made to myself. If you do the hard work first, if you do the training, if you learn how to overcome objections, and if you do the things that make you the most uncomfortable, if you chase those activities, the things that you hate doing, if you do that the most, you will overcome your insecurity and your shyness in sales. So guys, I have one-on-one mentorship going on this month. I'm only taking on 5 students. If you guys want to get more information, make sure you click the link below for a coaching call. But other than that, please like and subscribe to this channel. I'm going to drop daily videos on sales and how to make you into a beast. Peace.